Hello everyone, I'm the old guy and welcome back to my tutorial series of Patrician 3. This is episode 7 and today I want to talk about careers and politics. Now to develop your career and to get into politics, you're going to have to concentrate on two things, and that is your wealth and your reputation. Now we already know how to get wealth by trading and doing all that kind of stuff, but I want to talk more about your reputation. Now, to grow your reputation, you can do a bunch of things. You can trade goods to the town, supply them with goods, makes everybody happy, everybody's fed, your reputation goes up. You can also build buildings in the town, which we've gone over, and your reputation goes up. But there are some other things that I want to talk about that will also increase your reputation. But first, let's go over the different rankings in the game as you proceed. As your reputation grows. You start at the shopkeeper, you're an inexperienced young trader, and you hardly have anything. You may have a boat and a few gold in your pocket, and that's it. A trader, your wealth needs to exceed 1,000 gold pieces, and some of the citizens will have heard of you. And you can click on the citizens here to find out what they were wanting. And if you fulfill their needs, your popularity will go up. Next is the merchant. You are going to need to exceed 200,000 gold pieces and have risen in reputation in the town. So you're going to have to build a few roads or something to get there. Next is the traveling merchant. Your wealth needs now to exceed 300,000 gold, and you need to join the town guild hall, which is right here. You join the guild. I've already joined it in Visby. The next is the counselor. You have increased your influence in the town by quite a bit at this point, and your bank now exceeds 500,000 gold. And as the counselor, you start getting some abilities that are locked in the beginning of the game, as you are now make decisions that affect the town. You can take some votes, you can ask for the town walls to be expanded, etc. We'll go over what the counselor does in a little bit more detail later on in this video. After that is the Patrician. You have now 900,000 gold in your bank, and your reputation throughout all sections of society are now well known. You're now becoming very popular once you hit the Patrician level. The next is the Lord Mayor, and here is where a lot of things get interesting in the game. You can now control the army, you can now get into the arsenal here, and you can start building the defenses around the town, and you can start managing the town coffers and all this. So there's quite a bit that unlocks when you are the Lord Mayor, and you have to have a pretty big influence in your town, in your hometown, to become the Lord Mayor. So it takes a little bit of influence. You're gonna have to build some buildings, you're gonna have to pave some streets, maybe bribe some people to become the Lord Mayor. The next is candidate for Alderman. To become a candidate for Alderman, you're gonna have to complete some missions for the Hanseatic League itself and raise your reputation with the Hanseatic League. And to do that, you go into the town hall and you go to the alderman's office and ask them what missions, and you pick this. Now, some of it is pirates. You may have to increase a town size or a land crossing. You may have to develop. There's a bunch of things that you're going to have to do, and they are quite difficult to accomplish. But once you do 3 of them on normal difficulty, you'll become a candidate. Then to become the alderman, which is the last rank in the game, you're going to have to do some bribing and raise your reputation with the Hanseatic League even more. You can do some more missions, and once you get to the top of the list and the vote starts, like, you may be able to win, and then you'll be able to control all of the Hanseatic League, and the politics become quite intense. Let's get into some more detail about what we're talking about here. Alright, so where do you check your reputation from here? You can check it by going into your trading office and going into the personal, and you can see your reputation here is, I have the unbelievable Alderman. And I believe that's the highest ranking you can get, so everybody's pretty pleased with me for now. And the underworld here is avoiding you. Your reputation in town has increased. So I am building onto the town. I have just expanded the walls, and the people are pretty happy with me. Although if you look here, they are moving out because I have too many people and not enough housing, it looks like. So we have a shortage of dwellings. If I fulfill those, then my town will become even happier and my reputation will go up even further. A few things can affect your reputation and bring your reputation down. And that is if you are seen with a criminal, or you do some piracy yourself, or you do a criminal deed and someone sees you, your reputation may go down. Reliability is also a big factor. If you choose a mission from the Hanseatic League, or let's say someone has asked you to do something and you fail to do it, your reputation will go down. So be very aware. A lot of things affect your reputation. So always keep an eye on it and always try to build it up, because the more reputation you have, the better it will be. Once your reputation starts building, some things start happening. One of them is you're going to be asked to get married. Now, getting married, it will increase your reputation in town. The wife you get will have a different diary, so you may get some money or ships. And also, if you start having kids, that will also raise your reputation in town. So keep an eye out for that if you want to get married. I have not actually been married in this game yet. I am still single. And you can check that by going into the personal, and your wife will be here if you are married. Now let's get into some of the more interesting ranks that you can reach as your reputation grows. I want to talk more about the counselor. So once you become counselor in town, you will have access to the prince, and you will be able to take place in votes that are happening in the town. So let's talk about the prince first. Talk to the prince, you go to the town gate, and you can see that here's the prince, and you can give him presents. Now if I click on this, and it says that he is happy with the town right now. If he becomes unhappy with the town, he will siege the town, and if he does siege the town and defeats your army, he will empty the coffers here and steal all this money. So we don't want that happening. So keep an eye on this and make sure when you are the counselor to give him presents, make sure that it's all good. You can also raise the town's reputation with the prince by giving him goods. So this is a great way to get rid of some of your excess goods. I have a lot of grain build up here, so I can probably sell him some of this grain. And that keeps him happy as well. Also, if you have a delivery agreement with him, make sure that you complete the delivery agreement, because if you don't, then he will become really mad, and he may even cut off communication with you and then siege your town. If there is a siege, you may be able to pay the ransom, and he will leave the town alone. So keep an eye out for that. But the counselor, you start getting access to the prince. You also gain access to voting in the town hall and taking direct responsibility for what happens to the town. You go into the town info and you can start making suggestions here, like expanding the town walls, expanding the military, changing the tax and the levy extra taxes on the people here. And you will be asked to vote on those, and as a counselor you will be able to vote and have influence on that certain topic. You can also bribe some people to vote in your favor. So to do that, you go in here and you can see that there's somebody here. You can talk to Van Helsing, and if we look at the where's the town info, Van Helsing here is a counselor himself right there. We can bribe him, and then when we make a vote, he will follow our vote, or he will vote for you. Let's say if you're running for mayor. So keep that in mind. The next level I want to talk about is the Lord Mayor. And once you reach the Lord Mayor, the town becomes very interesting. You are now in direct control of the town. You can look at the town coffers. You can make adjustments here. You can take money. You can give money. And you can start looking at the budgets and all that. And we can start expanding the military. You can start expanding the fences along the tower and in the harbor. And you can also put forth votes here. The town info again, you can make an offer as the Lord Mayor. I am the Lord Mayor of the town. I want to enlarge the town. City walls, and that's going to happen on October 3rd. It's September 19th right now. So once that happens, we can Get a vote, all the councilors will vote, and I can bribe people if I want to vote with me. So let's say I'm going to take Van Helsing here. Let's give him a whopping 10,000 gold. Make a bribe. And he's not happy. What am I going to do with this pittance, he says. So 10,000 is not enough. So be aware, they ask for quite a bit of money. So once that day hits, you can go in here and you can go into the town info. And if it's October 3rd, you can make your vote here. And if it passes, it will enlarge the town walls. Another thing you got to keep in mind when you are the Lord Mayor is the town coffers. If you start spending and raising the army and building onto the towers and defenses, this starts going up. And if you start going in the red, your reputation will take a huge hit. So make sure this stays balanced and donate gold if you have to keep that stable. Stable government makes everybody happy here. So watch out for that. Another thing that will happen when your reputation starts rising is the Hanse Day. And here's an example of one. And the Hanse Day is a reoccurring day, an annual day, and that is where they vote for the Alderman of the Hanseatic League. If your reputation is high enough and you've completed missions for the Hanseatic League, you might be in the running, and you could win and become Alderman of the Hanseatic League, which is the highest rank in the game. They also get together and vote for special circumstances, just like this one here. The town of Scarsborough is being accused of sending groups of pirates against the Hanseatic League ships and was requested to impose a small fine on Scarsborough, and it was rejected by 18 to 18 votes. Now, there's a bunch of these that can come up, and if you win the Alderman and you become Alderman, you can start suggesting these things. You can fine a Lord Mayor if they have done something wrong, or let's say he's a rival of yours, you can try to find him. You can boycott traders and towns if you like. You can blockade them. So there is a bunch of options that unlock with becoming the Alderman and looking at some of these notices here. I have a few here. There is an impound. I did not repay a debt in Visby, and they took a swapping 174,000 gold from me has been seized. You can see that these get pretty serious as you go on. City walls, we voted to get on the city walls, and we have expanded them. This is where the fine was, I guess, because I never paid the amount in the first place. So they just took it out of my bank anyways. You can see that we have been sieged here. Citizens of Hamburg are being sieged. Another couple Hanse days. So there is a lot of stuff happening. Prince is talking to me. Elections. Here, I didn't win. Came in second place here. Normantis, that's me. So as your reputation grows, more and more things will start happening. Your news will start going off, and there's a lot of stuff happening. So here's the charge. I've been charged with a crime stating that the world is round, which is a crime in this time. It is flat during these days. So of course I'm going to jail. And the verdict here is I'm guilty and I have to pay 43,000 gold to be paid within 20 days. And of course I probably forgot, and then they seized the money from me anyways. So you can see that there's a lot of action going on. Another thing I want to mention is the charges here. So if you've been accused of a crime like I have right here, saying that the world is round, and you have time before the verdict, this one's already over, but if I'd made it in time, I could have gone into the bathhouse and bribed somebody here to vote against this. And I think if you do 2 bribes or something like that, you will be let off the hook. But if you are found guilty and you are fined, to pay off all of the guilty fines and loans, you just go right here to repay loans and you can pay it all off. Now remember, they become very costly and they go up with the amount of money you have. So be careful. This could be a big money drain if you are not paying attention to your mail and you will let these charges go through. And that comes to the end of the episode for today. We've gone over the career and the politics and all the stages all the way up to Alderman. I hope this helps. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you soon.